Sometimes I can't stand you.
I think that's most times. Let's be honest.
Shenanigans.
I mean, 90% of me is just making fun of you or other people, but like in a like you say something and then I respond with something sassy. That's pretty much it.
And it takes me always like 5 seconds to process what you said to me.
That's what happens with most people because I have the dumbest jokes. So
it's your redhead Slytherin.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's where it's from.
She's the redhead Slytherin. I told her to come up with all the names, suggestions.
Yeah, it's the best part.
Yeah,
word association.
That's why you're a bard every time we play D&D.
Correct.
So story time.
Yeah, tell me.
Not spooky story time. We're not there yet. I need
Soon.
a minute to practice in front of the mic. So like 4 or 5 days ago, my dad went outside to go grill on the back porch, and he comes inside. And he's got this look on his face, like bewilderment, right?
Okay.
Like he's like, he's a Catholic man straight out of the 60s. So like bewilderment is not a look, an expression that comes on his face, right? With my Italian hands, look at me go.
I was about to say, that's not something they experience.
Yes, no. So very rare. So he comes in and he's got a look on his face. And I'm like, you good, bro? And he's like, I was on the back porch. He goes, I could have swore I heard my name called.
Oh.
And I went,
cool.
What? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I heard someone call my name and I turned around, which my father is not good hearing.
Right.
So
for him to hear it, it had to be pretty
loud.
Yeah.
So I was inside. I obviously didn't hear someone say his name. And he said his name, Greg, right? So he said he heard a voice say his name and it was loud enough and real enough to him. He actually turned around and went looking to see if there was someone out in the yard. And I was like, guy or girl voice? And he's like, a woman. And I was like, the fuck? Oh. So he kind of pauses for a minute and he looks at me. He goes, you fucking peckerheads. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, you and that girl recording those fucking podcasts. He goes, shit's been getting worse ever since you assholes started.
That does not surprise me, and I guarantee the next time I see him, that's probably what he's going to say to me, is I'm very upset with this podcast bullshit.
Yeah, and like, even when we started, we would hear footsteps walk up and down the hall.
Yeah, we would. Especially when we had the door closed. That's when it gets, like, bad.
That's why I left the door open, because fuck off.
Yeah, I assumed.
And a lot of times when we record, the cat's in the room, because it's like, usually I'm like, it's the cat, and I go back to sleep.
Yep. Well... That's fun.
That's not the only thing that happened.
Oh, no. Oh, it gets worse? I was like, oh, that's not too bad. That's fine.
No.
What?
Thank God it never happens to me. Or I never fucking hear it. I'm just like, yes.
This poor man.
It was Saturday night. Yeah, it was Saturday. I'm having a stroke. Saturday night. I was in here. He went to bed early because he was going to go hunting. So it was like 9 o'clock at night, 9:15, 9:30, something like that. And I had my headphones on and I was playing Among Us with Kevin and Blake. And all of a sudden the dog just starts barking. And I didn't know my dad had gone to bed, but she starts going ape shit.
Yeah.
So I get up. Or no, actually I don't. I don't give a shit. I'm just like, dog's barking. Don't care. Not my dog.
Yeah. I mean, even then your dad plays with her sometimes and gets her riled up.
I didn't know he was in bed, so I thought he was doing something with her. So I was like, she barks at possums and bunnies in the yard. So I thought she saw an animal out the back window. All of a sudden, my dad opens the door. I can see all the lights out in the common areas are off. So I'm like, oh. He goes, were you banging on the desk? And I was like, oh, hell no. I wouldn't think about banging on the desk while you're asleep. No. Because I did like the whole like clutching my pearls. Like, I didn't bang on the desk.
No, that wasn't me.
I would never fucking bang on the desk after like late at night. I'm like, no. So I'm like, no. I was like, I've just been playing video games. Like, I'm not, I did not bang. Like, it's a glass desk too, so I wouldn't bang on a glass
Yeah, that's
desk.
what I was thinking. Like, you're not dumb. Like,
right. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And so he's like, I heard like 3 bangs.
Oh, 3.
What?
Okay, cool. Cool.
So I'm like, oh, hell no. So I get up and I'm like, what? And so the dog is still hair standing up and everything.
Right, freaking the fuck out.
And he goes, I heard boom, boom, boom. Like rhythmic, not like boom, boom. Like, not like something falling.
Right.
So like 3 like raps.
Right.
Right. So
cool.
We turned on all the lights. You know, I was like, where did it come from? And of course he has bad hearing. So he's like, I think it was on the outside of the house. And I was like, I hear the house settles at night. And so like in my room, I'll always hear 1 bang. Right. Where that corner settles. And it's fucking terrifying.
But like
But three and
That's
loud
not a
enough to
thing.
set the dog off. If your animal is losing its shit,
Cool.
what do I always say?
Cool.
So,
I love how you like let me into your house before you tell me this. This is cool. Thanks.
You're fine.
I mean,
you
yeah.
get to leave.
It's daytime and I can go home, but you know.
I am home. So
That's cool.
my dad's like, probably something fell in the garage. And I was like, it could have been the cat. And I just went back to my room. I was like, I don't want to.
It was the cat. That's what it was. Don't worry about
I
it.
don't want to acknowledge this happening.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, so we left all the light. My dad has like bright ass massive floodlights. So we just kind of were like, all right, we're just going to turn them on. And then he's like, when you go to bed, turn them off. So nothing else happened.
That's cool. That's so fun. So fresh. So new. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
Well, I don't have any...
We're not playing the flashlight game here. We're not...
You sure?
Like, if I go to move out, I'm down. Like, my dad can handle it. He's fine. So, we could do something when I'm about to leave.
Okay.
But not anything in the immediate future.
Okay. Perfect. I will start my plans. That's terrifying.
No, yeah.
I don't like that.
No, I don't either. And I have to live here, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you know what Bagel Bites always says?
Mocking of the Trinity.
Yep. 3 in a row.
Honestly,
So
I
that's
didn't
cool.
think about that until I told you it was 3 wraps, and then you looked at me, and I was like,
Oh, fuck.
fuck.
Yep. So that's reassuring. I definitely don't want to talk to whatever's here.
No.
Because that's not... I'm not opening that shit up. Okay, thanks.
It was funny, though, how eager my dad was to tell you about his story.
Yes, I thought that was precious. Like, he's so nice.
In the beginning, he was not as cool.
Oh, God, no. But you say it
As-
enough times, you're like, I'm the fucking greatest, let me
No,
tell you.
yeah, no, that was not the reaction he gave.
Oh, fuck no. That would not be the reaction I gave either. I would be like, so I was in the floor crying, and like,
So to paint the scene of like when this shit first started happening, I don't think I talked about it in the first episode.
I don't think so. You told us about the phone going through the table.
That's what it was. Oh, God.
Yeah, but you didn't tell us about anything else.
My dad saw it that evening, like one evening, right? I was not here. I was somewhere else. I don't remember where I was, but I was not here. And he said he saw it in the hallway. And in the beginning when he would see it, it would freak him out. And he just says it's like a dark mist, a dark shadow. Like it's obvious, like light is distorted.
Right.
And you can see something. So when he saw it, he was like, oh, fuck no. So he ended up going to bed after that. Because he's like, that's enough for one night. So when he got into his bedroom, he said that he was walking through the dark. He didn't turn on his bedroom light because he's a psychopath.
Right. Yeah. No normal person does that.
No. So he walks through the dark of his bedroom, which his bedroom is large. So he's walking through his bedroom, and he said he just heard a growl in his ear. And I think he reacted a little bit more than he told you, but he definitely did swing.
Oh, yeah, for
and
sure.
Throw a couple punches.
Hell yeah, in the fucking dark and something's growling in your ear.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to assume a person is there and I'm going to try to hit it.
Yes, so he was like, come at me, ghost, and then went to bed.
Yeah. Is that the best you got?
Yeah.
I think.
So it definitely growled in his ear. And that also sparked a memory of, I remember walking down the hallway and hearing footsteps right behind me.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that because that's the fucking coolest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yes. I think I probably said that one because that was a lights on night.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Like, it's so, like, obviously we talk about haunted places in this podcast. That's all we do. But when it's a lot different when it's in your home. Like, when it's somewhere else, you can kind of disassociate a little bit. But,
I get to leave.
Right. But if it's in your home, it's a little much.
It's a little more real.
Yeah. So here we are.
But you want to know what's also real?
More spooky stories.
More spooky stories.
Let's commence.
Do the
Flip
thing.
that coin.
Oh, gosh.
Flip that floor quarter. Okay, so real quick, y'all.
On the fucking floor.
So we apparently the last time that we recorded, we flipped the coin and it went on the floor. And
Yeah, I just yeeted it into the air.
I now remember that it went on the floor and it rolled under like this cat tree thing that we've got in the studio. And
It's a spare bedroom. Don't call it a fucking studio.
I'm so excited. Shut up. Leave me alone.
Okay.
So in the spare bedroom studio, it was laying in the floor. So we were like, oh shit, where's the quarter? Oh no. And I look over and I go, floor quarter.
4 quarter. Now it is officially 4 quarter because we found it on the floor where I left it.
Twice. This is the second time. So.
No, I actually never found it on the floor originally.
Oh no, I just yelled floor quarter when I
Right,
hit the floor.
because I joked. I was like, yeah, I found it on the floor. And then you were like, 4 quarter. And I was like,
Okay.
no, I didn't actually. I just got it out of the cupboard where my dad keeps the spare change.
Well, now it's officially a floor quarter, so here we are.
Okay.
We should brand that floor quarter.
Copyright. 4 quarter.
All right, flip that boy.
It's this one. It's a mint 1996 quarter.
Oh, well, interesting.
I'm older than this fucking quarter.
I was about to say, you were born in what, 94?
94.
Yeah. Heads. Flip
Oh, yeah. I forgot to ask.
It's fine.
Tails.
Shit, you first.
I go first. I always get that backwards in my head.
You're fine.
Every time.
Tell me about it. What's your story?
So my story for today.
Katie, tell me.
Don't tell my mother because she will be like, I want to be on that podcast because I'm half Italian.
Oh, that sounds like, yes.
Fun fact.
That sounds correct.
My mother is half Italian. She looks very much so Italian. She's brown. She tans.
Yes.
It aggravates me.
That beautiful olive skin tone.
Oh my fuck. Like, she'll fucking. I didn't get that skin tone. I got my dad's Irish red bullshit.
Hey, what's up? Me too.
My dad. Or no, my mom will like throw on like a tank top and go out and mow the lawn. And then she'll be like, hey, look at my tan line. And it's like
Dark.
10 fucking shades of darker. And I'm like, fuck you. Mm-hmm. So not fair. So my mother likes to talk about how she's Italian.
Yes.
And this is an Italian place
Ooh.
in Italy.
Ooh.
So she's like, the motherland. Don't tell my mom. Okay, so this is Katie Groves.
Yes.
I'm going to talk about Poveglia Island in Venice, Italy.
I'm actually really excited about this one because this is one of my favorite, like, scary places.
It's
a ride.
This is a ride. Like, when I was researching this, I was like, this is sad. And I watched one of the videos in this place last night, and I had to, like, watch, like, an hour's worth of TikToks because I was so wound up. I was like, oh, fuck. So,
Scare me.
Poveglia Island, weirdly enough, there's a G in there somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just pronounced Poveglia.
Sounds right.
I'm sure if you, like, an authentic Italian person.
Yes.
Fuck, that's not the correct wording.
Correct.
Would pronounce that probably a little bit better, but it's Poveglia Island. It's a small island located between Venice and Lido in the Venetian Lagoon.
Okay.
So out in the ocean, you have to kind of come into these. So Venice is like a little bit underwater. They have the canals and whatnot. Yeah. So they kind of have spots of islands.
Yeah.
And this is one of the islands that are out. So out there, it's considered just one island, but it's in 3 parts.
Okay.
So there's a upper island that is going to be referred to as the Plague Fields.
Oh,
hate that. So the center island has all the buildings on it.
Okay.
So, and then the bottom smaller island is completely irrelevant and will not come up in conversation. But it's three plots of land making one island.
Okay.
Plague Fields is the top island with no buildings.
Okay, I don't like that.
Yeah, and then the center island with all the main buildings on it.
Right.
And all the buildings.
Okay.
So, and then the other island we're not going to talk about again. So, of the whole plot of land, it's like 17, 18 acres.
Oh, that's fairly small.
It's fairly small, which is going to come up. That's important later. So, decently small. A small canal divides the upper island from the middle island. Plague field. From
island
building land.
Building land, yes. There we go.
So, the first time this island was ever recorded in history was 421.
It's so weird to think about things that were at that time because America, we were created in 1776, so like we're such a little baby child comparatively.
16 centuries.
That's wild.
Slow. Yeah. So the reason why this island was brought up in history is that the people of, I'm going to butcher this, Padua, P-A-D-U-A, Padua.
I'm not even going to try.
And Este, I don't know how to pronounce that, fled to the island in order to avoid barbaric attacks.
Okay.
So I got different mix of what happened after this, because obviously this was a while back. People say that the population steadily increased. Some say the population steadily decreased.
Okay. Well, either way, it was dramatic.
Either way, they left. The people on the island left. When the Genoan fleet invaded in 1379. So the people of the island said deuces.
Yeah, see you later,
and
alligator.
Because obviously you're on an island. It's not that great. So
yeah, it's not very defensible.
For centuries, the island remained uninhabited. So like people didn't live on the island, but the island was still active. Okay. So no one actively lived on the island.
Okay. They would just travel to and from.
So, not quite. So,
Okay.
So, when the bubonic plague first came about in the 14th century
Oh, no.
and ravaged Europe, Poveglia was used as an isolation island for the sick. So there were 3 bouts of the plague.
Okay.
During this, during three main big hits, right?
Okay.
So like it was a constant thing, but then there was like 3 uprisings of the plague. Okay. So this island was constantly. So what I'm going to talk about applies to the whole time that the plague is active. So like of any point in time that in history was like, well, the bubonic plague came back up in the 17th century, this also applies. Okay. So the island was used for isolation, quarantining, right? Mm-hmm. And this is actually where quarantining kind of originated from. Oh. Quarantine is corona is I butchered that. Is actually an Italian derivative word.
Oh, so well, that's kind of wild.
Right. That was somewhere in one of the things I read.
How like relevant and uncomfortably relevant.
Right, because we're in a pandemic and we're quarantining and you're 6 feet away from me. So when people were brought to the island, they were pulled from their homes. Right. And if you showed any sign of the plague, and even being like just sick in general, you were forcibly pulled from your home. You had a hood shoved over your head, thrown on a boat with a doctor with those like beak masks.
Oh, the plague doctors.
Plague doctors.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like those masks. I don't like
not the reason for the masks. So they were charted across the waters to the island, and they were quarantined for 40 days. Okay. Most did not survive the 40-day quarantine.
Right. I was about to say, even if you didn't have it, even if you just had a cold and you got put on the boat and taken over there, you're going to get plague. And you're going to die.
And you're going to die. So
I don't like that.
Dead bodies were burned.
Oh, okay.
Right, because they were like, we don't know, but cleansing fires, right?
Yeah.
So they were burned. They were thrown into pits. Okay. Plague pits. Okay. So that's why the top island is called plague fields, plague pits. Okay. So bodies were thrown in to the pits and then set on fire to get rid of whatever it was. And then it also said that they were put, in the beginning when there weren't so many people constantly dying, people were put like up on stakes and then burned.
Oh, Lord, that is not beneficial to anybody.
So it was also rumored that even if you weren't dead, but you had no strength to fight, to respond, to say anything, you were just also thrown in the pit and burned.
I hate that more than a lot of things.
Yep. So during the highest bouts of the plague, right, there were so many people dying, as much as 500 people were dying a day. On the island, not on mainland, on the island. So mass graves were used to dispose of the bodies. Remember how you said that the island was small? Yeah. Right. There were so many people dying, the island was littered with dead bodies.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Literally littered.
So, question. Yes. How would they move the bodies? Like, who was doing that? Who was moving the bodies from the, like, buildings?
There were designated people. Like it said that, I forget what the technical term was, but there was people who were designated to bury the bodies. Like, I don't know how they were surviving the plague, right? Yeah. But it was noted that the person who was doing it, the people's, multiple persons doing it all day long, that many people were dying. They could not stop throwing bodies in the pits because bodies were littered everywhere. The fuck is exactly right. So the pits go as deep as 50 to 60 feet down. Ooh. And there are still human ashy remains on the surface of the island today. So
that's gross. Yeah.
So these bodies that were buried, burned, and also those who were still alive and couldn't fight also were just boop into the pit. So as I said, most of the soil on the island is actually from burned human corpses.
Awesome.
Right. So most of the bodies were up in the plague fields. Yeah. Right. So
you don't have like any good place to go from there.
No, this is like so draining. I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. So because I can't be lively and talk about this because it's like, so rumor has it, a nice little tidbit is that there were so many bodies being burned constantly for such a long period of time that it's said that the smell of burning corpses could be smelt all across Italy.
I would honestly believe that. I would legitimately believe that.
And that it's also estimated that the plague field island, like the top island, grew in size because of the human remains being added to the island.
That makes sense too, because I can imagine that that it probably got taller, like more
out of the
land
ocean.
mass. Yeah.
Yep. It's disgusting. Like,
that's rough.
Yeah. Like, side note, Zachary Bagel Bites and Ghost Adventures, he took a knife and dug it into the...
Of course he did.
And it was not dirt. Like, it was not compacted.
It was just
sandy ash looking.
Oh, God.
Disgusting.
Can you imagine that when you, like, step on it?
Yeah, he stepped on it and
you
he
would
sunk.
I was about to say you would sink in because it's not hard-packed earth. It's ash. Human ash. Yowzers.
Yeah, so...
Okay. That's wild.
It was an unofficial quarantining place. It was just... That was just like, all right, go out there. But at the start of 1776, the island became an official check-in and out of ships.
Okay.
So ships had to go to Poveglia to either if they were leaving Venice or coming into Venice to be checked for plague. So in 1793, 2 ships coming to the island to check had multiple cases of the plague.
Okay.
So it then started as like a more of a actual holding place.
Oh, that would suck.
So like
too.
this is the time where it was like officially noted that it was a plague holding place, like when actual history was being recorded about the place. So again, the plague kind of started up again in that time. So it started as a temporary holding quarantine station until 1805, where it became a permanent holding station again for people. I think a hospital was built at this time.
Okay.
So
at least they finally built a hospital for taking care of all of the people.
Right. So in 1922, after the plague, I guess, subsided, calmed down, they converted the hospital into an asylum for the mentally ill.
Of course.
They built the hospital. Actually, I don't know when the hospital was built. I take that back. I don't know if it was built in 1922 or if it was built in 1805, but there were buildings were more and more being constructed on the building.
Yeah.
At a certain point, a hospital was built. It never mentioned anywhere when it was, but when it was built, it was definitely there for the asylum. I do know that. It was built on top of some of the plague pits. So like even though the top island was the plague fields, there are still plague pits on the main island with the buildings.
Well, when you run out of space,
build on top. So the hospital that's there today, which is like I think the largest building there, is built on top of a couple of plague pits.
I hate that a lot.
It's kind of fucking rude if you ask me.
Oh, very much so.
Jeez, which is what a lot of paranormal theorists attribute to why the place is so fucking haunted, because it's like, that's rude. You just built on top of so many dead people.
Right, because I mean it's more compacted in a larger amount of people than like, you know, in the US we have a lot of ancient Indian burial grounds or things like that where places are built on, and it's disrespectful, versus there it's a lot more people. It's
so much more. So
I like that.
Even though it was converted for an asylum for the mentally ill, shortly after it was made into a nursing home.
Oh, God.
And for patients that need long-term care.
No.
Yeah, it got a little worse. So finally, in 1968, the island was closed. Shortly used for agriculture, apparently, but then finally abandoned in 1968.
I also would not want to eat food from that place.
Why not? It's high in
all of the proteins of people. Yeah, no, I'm good.
I'm not going to make that joke. So in 2014, the state offered a 99-year lease in hopes that the person, it came with stipulations. So you could buy it, but you had to build a luxurious hotel on the island.
Reasonable.
So apparently somebody bought it.
Okay.
But when they presented plans to the city, hey, this is the hotel we're going to build, that wasn't good enough for the city. So that was shut down.
Rude.
Another group tried to put together funds to make the island into a tourist attraction. That also fell through. So it's kind of like, why are these things falling through?
Yeah, why is that not working?
Is it not working out? So it's also said that no one will build on the island because it's so haunted.
Reasonable.
So unfortunately, it is illegal to go to this island.
No.
Yeah.
I really wanted to visit.
I mean, I'm sure you could throw somebody a couple of euro, like if you paid someone enough that someone will dump you off on the island.
Fair.
But it is illegal to go to the island.
Dadgummit.
Yeah,
okay.
so
well,
there's Obviously, like, the buildings at this point are decrepit. Like,
Certainly,
they are falling apart. Some of the videos that I did see, some of the pictures of people sneaking onto the island and making
that's a bad idea.
Yeah, so the buildings are falling down, and it is a hazard to people.
Which is probably why it's illegal.
Yes.
Because
or is it because it's too haunted?
Maybe it's both. Maybe they don't want you to get killed by ghosts or get killed by the property. Like, either way.
Yeah. So the buildings that are still standing on the island are the Kavana. I think I said that right. The church, the hospital, which I said is built over some plague pits, an asylum, a bell tower, and housing and administrative buildings for the staff.
Okay. That's a lot of buildings. That's a lot more than I expected.
Yep. Oddly enough, even though it's a small island, they're littler-ish buildings, but they're still there. Yeah. There's still several buildings on it. So the National Geographic estimated that there were over 100,000 people buried in the plague pits. Ooh. Another group estimated it's 160,000 people on the 18 acre plot of land. I was watching a video, and it's also said that fishermen will not fish around this island because I don't know if it was present day or back in like the 1800s, early 1900s, their fishing nets would catch human remains because I don't like that. Ocean fluctuates, obviously.
Right.
So bodies would actually be pulled off of Poveglia.
Pieces of bodies.
Yes. Would be pulled off of Poveglia and into the water. So fishermen don't fish.
That's really
or
awful.
Go around that island at all.
Which, I mean, is reasonable because just the idea of pulling up a fishing net and it having a bit of a person. Mm-hmm. Ooh, lordy.
Disgusting. Nope. So that's the thing. So to the hauntings. So that's the history.
Okay.
Right. So just dead, burnt bodies, buried alive.
Okay.
So you were either just buried or you were thrown in a pit and set on fire. So those were the two options. And even people who were still sort of alive could maybe pull through. Could maybe. We're still killed.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of bad energy.
Yes.
On this island.
Very much so.
Real bad. So we had a talk earlier about activity in areas that are haunted, right? So we have a theory that this is a theory, so like there's some places that it's like, can't stop, won't stop, Thunderdome, like doesn't matter day or night, it's happening. But then there's some places that are like famously haunted and so many people go there that it's low energy. So like there's not so many things happening. But then we also have a theory if people don't constantly go there, it is nonstop. And let me tell you, this place
hippity hopping.
Even though there's not many experiences because it's illegal to go to.
Certainly.
It's happening.
Yeah, every time someone visits, something happens.
Right. So with that, patients living during the time the island was designed as an asylum reported seeing strange shadows in the facility and often reported that they could not sleep because they were hearing wails and cryings and moans at night.
So, and you don't know if that's your fellow people there or something else.
Right. But what was really unfortunate is that there was a doctor that was posted on the island during the time that the asylum was operating, and he was a colossal psychopath jerk-off dick that did not humane experiments.
Of course.
On the people there. So if anybody reported seeing something obviously, like, so a mentally ill patient reporting something that is not there, so they saw a shadow, right? They're mentally ill, so they were either put in an isolation chamber where they were tortured or given to this doctor where it was usually said that if you went into the room, you were not coming back out alive.
Awesome.
The guy would
That's the fucking best.
Did like crude lobotomies on the mentally ill, would chop their heads off and poke at their brains, just discuss, like, anybody who reported seeing shit in that asylum was like, all right, well, you're not a good functioning human being anymore. Let's just do experiments on you for the sake of science.
No.
So in the 1930s, the doctor jumped or was pushed, no one knows, from the bell tower, ending his life. It was said some reports said he didn't die on impact,
right?
But he died shortly after or on impact. Right. I got two different stories.
Well,
so,
I mean, how tall was the bell tower?
Tall.
Okay.
You can see it from mainland.
Oh.
So it's
pretty big then.
Like, you have to climb up a decent sized ladder.
Okay. Well, Either way. Okay,
Splat.
just curious.
So I'd say like 3-4 stories tall.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could potentially survive that for a minute.
Yeah, a hot minute.
Okay.
So no one know he's because he survived, right? So no one, I don't know if it was like he like said in his dying breath he was pushed by an unknown force or what have you. So 2 different stories. The reason why he said he jumped or was pushed was that he claimed in his diary that he was driven mad by ghosts. Like that is just a blanket statement. So even though the mentally ill were also seeing ghosts, the doctor claimed to also be seeing shit on the island and had enough.
Well, I mean, I kind of hope that if that was the case, ghosts saw what he was doing and just tormented the fuck out of him.
I hope so.
Like,
bastard.
You know.
So when he jumped, the bell was removed from the tower, and then the openings were bricked up.
Okay, so that wouldn't happen again.
So it wouldn't happen again, but it's also said from that time that the bell was removed and bricked up until now, fishermen and people on the island still hear the bell.
Oh, cool.
Ooh-wee-oo.
That's wild.
So when you were sent to the island, you were sent there to die. Like everyone knew, like if it's like, oh, you're going to Poveglia, you're going to die. It's a death sentence, right? So the feeling of dread and anxiety is just constantly felt on the island. Like it is just like a heavy feeling that you get as soon as you get onto the island.
I can imagine.
Like people even going to the island, they start freaking out. Not
like you see it on the horizon and you're like, oh shit, it's getting bigger.
It's just creepy. Yeah, creepy vibes. So not good. Everyone has different negative experiences, emotions when they get there. So not good stuff. So a TV show from the early 2000s called The Scariest Places on Earth.
I want to watch it.
Went there.
Okay.
It was rough. It was
perfect.
The show itself was rough.
That's the kind of stuff that I enjoy. So show me, gimme.
It was really corny and cheesy, even worse than Ghost Adventures. So
perfect.
They had a 2-part episode. They were both like 45 minutes long, where they sent a family of 5 to do an investigation.
A family?
Yes.
That's a dumb idea.
Oh, no.
I don't like that.
It was fun. Like, it was actually really good.
Okay.
Like, that's the one that I watched at night, and I started freaking out because I was like, damn, it is just nonstop.
Just hippity hopping.
Even on their shitty audio and video equipment from the early 2000s, you could hear it all happening.
Shit.
It was loud. Like, I'll get there. So before they let the family onto the island, they usually bring in like a couple local mediums, paranormal investigators. They had a guy doing automatic writing while he was there. I don't remember what that said. Anyways, so one of the mediums said that they constantly felt an evil spirit from the bell tower.
Oh, cool.
Like, just no matter where they went, that was always there. Another medium said that the morgue was the hottest place.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Because that's where like everybody died. And 2 of them, they sent two mediums into there. And one was saying that they brought in a pendulum and that pendulum was swinging. Yeah. So they said that the vibrations of that many deceased spirits, so that many spirits was making the pendulum go. Right. And then another medium came in and was like, there's a drone noise of that many spirits in this room.
Oh, that gives me
they were not brought in at the same time. It was 2 separate things.
That sound like saying that gives me the chills.
I got the chills
on the back of my head. Yeah, because like just imagining hearing the droning of 100,000 people. Ooh. Yep. Ooh, that one got me.
So the family's experience on the island.
Okay, tell me.
So they had cameras strapped to their chest and they're constantly pointing at their face. And then different points throughout their time on the island, they were given different equipment. So like they constantly had recorders and then they were given EMFs. They were given temperatures. They were given even like old school pendulums. They were given crystals. They were given the dowsing rods.
No. Nobody will ever hand me a pendulum.
All that shit was going off. Oh, yeah. Everything. The EMFs were off the charts. Yes. So when they got there and like it started off baby, like I was like, oh, this is like average. It got worse as it started to go. So like all of them were during the first round, they were separated into the different buildings and they had to like stay there for a certain period of time and then they could go off and find each other. So while they were all in the different buildings, all of them were hearing the same noise.
What?
Yes. They were like, yeah, I hear that. Yeah, like, and they were in different buildings.
No.
Yes. So one of them finally was like, it sounds like a bell.
Oh, God.
So right out of the gate, we're just going to 100. So while they had the EMF readers, the EMF, so the electromagnetic fields.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a 1 or a 2. One guy was like, it's in the red.
Jesus.
Like one person was like, it's at a 25, and somebody was like, mine just spiked to 45.
Fuck off.
So the EMF readings were constantly high every time they would go into like a different room and whatnot. So during one portion of it, one of the members opens the door to a gas chamber.
Oh.
And he opens it, and there's 2 people in the room, so he opens the door. And then the other person was like, why did you do that? Don't touch it, don't touch it. So he shuts it, and you hear the sound that it makes when it shuts. And he clearly walks well away from it, and you just hear it slam again.
Fuck off. Nope.
Yep, so they start freaking out. They're like, oh, hell no. So during their time there, you could hear very, very clear footsteps on their audio equipment, and one woman was by herself where there was a very active area in one of the buildings, and you could just hear like footsteps like she literally goes, oh, please don't start that walking again. Like footsteps the whole time they were there. They constantly heard footsteps walking around the place, different buildings, even outside. One woman said that there was footsteps behind her, and she could feel something breathing on her neck.
No, thank you.
There were constant banging on, like constant, I'm not joking, it was constant banging on the walls. The furniture was moving, the doors were being like slammed and hit. They were, oh man, I'm getting cold chills.
I can't even breathe.
Yes, they would hear whisperings and people talking to them. Like one guy ended up having a whole conversation with the woman. Like he said he could hear her.
Oh, okay.
Like you couldn't hear it on the audio recording, and they didn't go back and like replay it or enhance the audio or anything, but a couple of times you could hear it yourself without enhanced audio.
What the fuck?
So he's like, I can't hear you. Can you say that again?
Could you repeat that, ma'am?
Yeah, like, could you say that again? I hear you. Can you say that again? So he ends up in this area that was really hot that night. He ends up going into one of the rooms, and he's like, do you want me in here? And then nothing happened. Okay. So he walks out and he goes into the next room. He's like, do you want me in here? And then he hears like the woman talk again. He's like, okay. So they didn't address this at all, and it really upset me. Why?
Yeah.
He's standing there in this room, and it looked like there was a closet. Like everything was night vision, so I couldn't really see things. So like all of a sudden you hear bang, 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 bang. Like there's stuff banging, and he's standing there, and he was the most skeptic person in the group. So he's standing there, and he's hearing this banging, and he's like looking. You can see the camera on his face. Yeah. And he's like, what the? And all of a sudden you hear a growl.
Nope.
Over his camera, and he takes the fuck off running. He runs out of the bed. Like, he runs out of that room. So that situation was never talked about.
He probably more than likely he saw something and heard something.
Yes.
That he didn't like, because anything that presents itself as like a nice sweet little lady and then you hear a fucking growl, that's a demon.
Yeah, he was like, he mentioned this, the female he was talking to, but did not talk about him running out of the room.
Right. Well, also, he could have been so scared. He was like, look, I'm not talking about that on camera. No. And just refused.
So that was awful.
I don't like that.
As the night went on, everyone started to see shadows.
Right.
Like there were 2 other family members that kind of got caught in a corridor, and they were saying that they could see shadows moving like in front of them.
I hate that you say caught in a corridor.
No, they were, because they kept saying like every time they try to move forward, there'd be banging or talking or shadows. So when they would try to go the other way to get out, there was shadows, banging, and footsteps and whatnot.
I don't like that.
So they felt like they were trapped in this room by 3 spirits, because they said that also shit was happening on the ceiling.
Fuck off, Jeremy. So no, thank you.
They were both like backed up against the wall, and every time they tried to go one way or another, they just kept getting backed up into the room.
Did these people bring holy water and crucifixes?
They actually went through a cleansing process before they left the island.
Good. Fucking good.
Because it was rough.
You do not need any of that shit following you the fuck home. No.
One poor girl was stuck in a room by herself, and she was the one who was losing it towards the end of it all.
We gotta watch this.
Oh, it was. I had to watch it on like 2 times speed, so I actually didn't get to enjoy it because I was trying to blast through it. One poor girl was stuck in a room by herself, and she said she saw a shadow come out of the shadows and then growl at her.
No.
And then it moved behind her and started growling at her.
Fuck you. If you can't face me like a man, don't come around.
Yeah, right?
Woo.
Another woman was in a room, and she said that she saw a black shadow in the window in the surgeon's office. And she screamed.
Yeah.
And that was rough. So
same.
The whole night, banging, high EMFs, cold chills, feets walking, nonstop.
I don't like it when the feet walk.
Yeah, they were all pretty skeptic.
Yeah.
And when they were left, they were like, no, we got more than we bargained for. Like, we want to go home. So they went through a cleansing process at the very end, got doused with holy water, and then left.
That's smart.
So that was awful. So as I was scouring the internet of trying to find experiences of other people going onto the island, other than TV shows, right? A group of guys, 5 guys.
Oh, no.
Five guys from Colorado. So Americans.
Oh, Jesus. How high were they?
I don't think very high. They attempted to spend the night on the island in 2016.
Okay.
Okay.
Attempted.
All
right.
I couldn't see if they posted their experience anywhere, but it was there. I found a couple of articles of like just a quick synopsis of what happened.
Yeah.
So they apparently had paid a boatman, a fisherman, whatever, someone with a water transporter.
Yes.
Brought them to the island, and they were like, all right, we're going to spend the night, blah, blah, blah. As the night fell upon them.
I imagine this wasn't a sanctioned thing, right?
Oh, no. I don't
just...
think they got permission.
Okay. Well, there's problem number 1.
Right. No, I don't. It was not said they had permission because
Jesus.
They said it was said that they became panic stricken because of a dark force on the island.
Okay.
So
I believe it.
They couldn't do it. They ended up actually running to the end of the island that faces Venice.
Yeah.
And started screaming.
Oh.
They were all screaming for help to be pulled off of the island. They could not take it anymore. A local fisherman heard them and then called the authorities, and the firefighters had to go out and get them off the island.
Well, I mean, that close to dusk, I imagine the fisherman was like, fuck you, boy.
We're not
doing
coming
it. Sorry.
to get you. So
I don't get paid for that.
Yeah, so 5 grown men couldn't do it.
Lordy
and
mercy.
They noped out of there so hard. So Ghost Adventures went there.
Of course they did. Tell me all about it.
I watched the episode. We watched it, but a long ass time ago. So
yeah, it's been a year or two.
Let's do a recap, right? So
tell me.
Even before they set up, they were doing their daylight before the existential dread sets in.
Certainly, because they know what's up.
Walk through, yes, right. All of their equipment was just dying.
No.
Like their audio equipment was just kept getting killed off.
Oh, shit.
Before they were even doing anything, right?
Okay.
So when they finally start their investigation at night, it's just as soon as they go into the first building, it is go time.
Okay.
They start hearing disembodied voices that the audio doesn't even have to be enhanced to hear.
Cool.
They are constantly hearing footsteps.
Yep.
Throughout the entire investigation. Like,
awesome.
They felt like they were being walked up on. They said that they could hear footsteps down the hallway.
Yeah.
Like, just the whole time.
Right. That's pretty consistent with what that family heard, too.
Everything was very consistent. Their equipment constantly kept malfunctioning. So the EMF reader spiked and then died. Their recorders would just drain and then die. And their cameras would even turn off. I think all 3 of their cameras died at one point and they had to turn them back on.
Oh, cool.
Which that usually doesn't happen in their other investigations. So that was... So... unexplained banging and then things moving around. So like it was never caught on camera if stuff was moving, but it was just loud, like things getting dropped, thrown.
Yeah. Pretty
banging
consistent.
on the wall. Just loud, unexplained noises were consistently heard throughout the entire investigation.
Okay.
While they were together at one point doing their jam, right? They kept getting exhausted.
Oh.
Like Zach got exhausted and then Aaron got exhausted. Like they were just all of a sudden just be like, can't fit. And they would also see like orbs on their cameras.
Nice.
I don't like the orbs.
I don't like orbs either.
Because every time an orb comes into the picture, it's something creepy ass happens. In the beginning of their investigation, Zach starts acting really weird.
Okay.
And when Nick comes up to him, Zach is just mean ass staring him down. Like a look on his face of like complete anger and disgust is on his face for no reason. Like they're having a technical issue.
Okay.
And Aaron starts talking. And then it gets bleeped out what was said. And I think it was like, fuck you, right? So then Aaron's like, fuck me. And Zach's like, yeah, fuck you. And starts screaming at Aaron. And Aaron like has to like actually cowers away. Like he runs off. So
Jesus. Because, like, Bagel Bites is a fairly level dude most of the time.
Yeah,
like, he's cheesy and corny, but, I mean...
He's usually the one who
dude.
tells everybody to calm down,
yeah, like,
right?
it's gonna be okay. Like, calm down.
He loses it. So, like, Nick and Aaron actually, like, run around the corner from him, and they're, like peeking around, like, are you good? And he's just not responsive. He's not saying anything. He just has, like, this angry look on his face, and he never does that. He does not get angry. And Nick comes up to kind of be like, hey, like, drop the equipment.
Right.
Like, take a second.
Yeah.
Zach punches the wall.
What the
and
fuck?
just starts, like, going down towards the ground. And Nick's like, let go, let go, let go. So he starts dropping everything. And he's just like, he starts screaming, stop it, stop it. So Nick's like, let's get out of this area. So Nick kind of just, like, coerces him out of the area. And they're still in the building. But when they leave the area... Zach kind of comes back too, and he's sitting on the ground. And he goes through this epilogue of like, people come here to die. They want us to die here. It's the same feeling. It's the same energy. So being a little dramatic, but he was a little upset.
Well, for sure.
So Aaron was like, how about you? Aaron had already left the building and was standing outside being like, hey man, like, let's go outside. And Zach's like, I can't get off the floor. Like, I can't stand up. He's like, I don't want to leave. And so Nick's like, no, let's go outside. And
Eric's, get up.
Zach
let's
was
go.
like, no, I don't want to go. And Nick's like, no, we're going to go. So finally, when Zach gets out of the building, he just said he just felt like he had something lifted off of his shoulders. Like
that's cool. The demon can't leave the room.
Felt so much better. So he said that part of the clips of that episode was not actually shown in the show. Oh, shit. Because he said it bothered him so much.
That's fair.
So in his like recall of the situation, he said that he remembers really seeing red, and he doesn't even remember half of it. He does not remember anything after like starting to scream at Aaron. Right. So he was just kind of like, later, I think in another episode, like a talk, like a behind the scenes kind of episode kind of thing, he said he was partially possessed. Like that was his claim, that he was partially possessed. That's what he honestly believes. And he got a massive back tattoo because of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because that's the one that's like up near the top of his shoulder blades.
Yeah,
right?
like where the pointy things come out the back of his shirt. He got a massive back tattoo to commemorate, I guess, that whole...
Well, I mean, to be fair, like nobody gets a tattoo of something like if that didn't happen, I don't think he would have gotten the tattoo. No. So, I mean, like that's...
I mean, if you honestly believe that you were partially possessed, that's a thing.
Fuck yeah.
That's a thing.
Yes.
That's a whole thing.
That's a big thing. I would do that.
So, they end up going back outside to investigate the plague fields. Okay. And that's when they kind of see, like, the dirt is, like, all ash. Yeah, and it's not dirt. It's not dirt. It is ash. And he pulls up, like, it looks like bone. He's like, this has to be the top of a skull.
Oh, Jesus.
Right. So, it's right on the surface. Like, all these bodies were burned on the surface.
Yeah, and I mean that makes sense too, because it's not gonna like bone does not burn at that low a temperature. No, that's why like cremation.
They did have a cremation chamber that was eventually put on the island. Yeah, but before that, they were just thrown in the pits and burned. So yeah. At those low temperatures, the calcium would not burn and break down. I don't like that. So while they were outside, and before they even got to the plague fields, they could hear screaming and people talking. Oh, and cool. It was outside and rough and...
I hate that.
Disgusting. So they didn't go out into the plague fields. They kind of just crossed the bridge over the canal and they were just standing right there. They set up a X-cam on a tripod. And they were recording themselves out in the field. And they said that they heard footsteps running. Yeah. And then went up the bridge, away from them towards the camera. And then knocks the camera over.
What a dick. Which,
those tripods and those cameras are heavy. They do not just get flipped over.
No, it's not like the wind blew and they fell.
No. So then the camera was running. So you kind of hear like doof, 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 like across the wooden bridge. And then poof, it gets knocked over. Yep.
No, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, so they were out doing that, and of course they kept hearing cries and talking out into the field. Zach says he swore he heard someone yell his name, and it's caught on audio. Woo. So they ended up going back inside, and they caught a pretty decent black shadow on the camera in the chapel room. So Nick was in there doing an investigation, and when he left, it was like kind of like on the ceiling-ish.
Ew.
Yeah, it was not, and of course it was like a mist, and you see the light being distorted where the shadows kind of moving through, and then at the same time you hear a moan.
Ew.
God, I'm getting goosebumps. This is so hard to talk about.
I don't like ceiling demons.
So Zach ends up having goes back in the room where he was kind of possessed. Right?
Zach, no, honey.
And he ends up having like a interaction constantly.
Yeah.
So he hears footsteps. He constantly hears disembodied voices nonstop while he was in there. And he said that he was recording down a hallway, and you can hear it on the audio. It sounded like someone was behind him that said, "Hey," and then his camera cuts off.
Nope.
So he's like, I'm going to go.
That's probably smart.
So he ends up leaving. So while they were moving around the places, right, they were also getting EMF spikes.
Oh, for sure.
Like crazy. Yeah. And they were also getting temperature drops, noticeable temperature drops. So they would have a little electronic temperature gauge. And they said that the constant temperature was about 82, 83.
Yeah.
And they said that they would get drops, and they recorded it. It would go down to 70 degrees.
That's not okay.
10 plus degree temperature drop.
I don't like that.
While they were doing their investigation.
Oh, I had a question. I did have a question.
Oh, yeah.
So, is there any electricity, on this island? Okay, so, none.
None.
Okay, so,
I don't even... No, there was electricity in the 19...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen pictures of it, and there's, electrical outlets and, light bulbs and stuff, but I can't imagine if it's abandoned that there would be electricity anywhere.
No.
But I just wanted to ask, because that's something that could explain some of the EMF jumps, but not if there's no electricity.
No, I read somewhere that the electromagnetic field on the island is just... Wild. Because even as you're moving, the family from Scariest Places on Earth and even Ghost Adventures guys, they would get massive EMF spikes, and that it was just constant throughout the entire island. And it was noted somewhere that I read that there is some weird EMF readings going on the island, and there is no electricity. There's no active power on the island.
I hate that. Okay.
So
proceed with scaring the life out of me. I don't know why, but this story is getting me real good.
Well, I have something unfortunate to tell you.
Okay.
That's the end.
Oh, well, this story got me good then. Past tense.
So it's just interesting to see that the family of 5 that went in Scariest Places on Earth, which was several years before Zach and his crew went there, they were having the same exact shit happen.
Problems,
the banging, the footsteps, the voices that are clearly heard. The audio does not need to be enhanced. So they were
like that.
Yeah, they were all getting the same experiences. I think the only thing that differed is that the family said that they were constantly feeling touched, and the Ghost Adventure crew did not
mention that. Really,
they said that they could feel energy moving through them, or they could feel cold wind. Yeah, but not no one touching them. So
okay.
they several years later, both of the crews definitely had same experiences going on. That's always so interesting to me.
I hate it.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know why Poveglia scares me so badly.
Probably because the bubonic plague and how decrepit and broke down that place is.
Yeah.
And how hot it is, and the fact that you can hear people talking and yelling.
Yeah, I think that's what gets me. If you can actually hear it with your ears unassisted, that I don't like.
Yep, you would be watching either one of the two shows, and before they even were like, let's go back and listen to enhanced audio, you would hear that shit.
Yeah, see, that I don't like. I don't like that that's an option, because you can't. There's no way for you not to acknowledge that, you know?
Right. There's no one else on the island. You should not be hearing different voices.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. But that's why we're not there.
That's true. I want to still go sometime. Maybe
we'll
one
talk about it.
Because I feel like it would be really cool. At least it would be interesting, because I'm one of those psycho history people that I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Let's go see the spooky thing because history. Because I did that with Gettysburg with my mom. And that's some eerie shit if you've never been to...
You went to Gettysburg?
Yeah, dude.
Where's Gettysburg? I'm sorry. You're going to say it and I'll be like, oh yeah, I knew
Virginia.
that. Oh yeah, see.
Yeah, see.
I couldn't...
You're fine.
What's the one in Georgia?
In Georgia?
Savannah?
Yes.
Yeah, I get those two
Savannah's
confused.
There. Yeah,
Savannah, Georgia, and then Gettysburg, Virginia.
Yeah, you're okay.
Okay. I'm also not from here.
Yeah. See, that's the one time my mom and I have taken an out-of-state trip, and it was just, hey, we're here. Let's just go see. And that was really cool. It's literally one of the most eerie, uncomfortable things because it's just this big ass open field. And you look and like it just feels oppressive because of how many people died there.
That was like, yeah.
It's wild.
A lot of soldiers died there. A lot.
Ooh, yeah. So it's wild.
Wild.
So I like weird history shit. So
yes,
that was kind of fun. It's true. Hello.
That's why we do a history portion of all this stuff.
Yeah. Thanks for catering to me. It's great. I love
Well, it makes sense. We have to talk about the history about. I mean, we can't just jump in and be like, yeah, there's plague pits.
Let me tell you about the spooks. What's a plague pit?
Well, kiddo, let me tell you. Okay, so you, Zoe.
Yes.
Your turn.
Yes. Okay, so mine is a little less balls to the wall, scary and make you cry. It's still kind of scary, but, well, not really scary. It's interesting. There's some spooks, but let's get into it.
Tell me.
This week I'm doing the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado.
Gonna smoke some weed?
Sure.
Let's
do it. I would actually really like to go to this hotel sometime, so just keep that on the map. It's not near anything, so it would literally just be to go to the hotel.
Just make a Word document. And you can't put all of them.
I was about to
Max
say, can I just copy the Word document we have for stories?
For stories, no.
That'd be pretty good.
I'm not flying out to India.
Okay, so
tell me.
This hotel is a 142-room colonial revival hotel.
Ooh, colonial revival.
Yeah, pretty. Opened on July 4th, 1909 as a resort for upper-class Easterners and a health retreat for people suffering from tuberculosis.
Open and airy.
Yes.
Okay. Is that why you were talking about the tuberculosis treatment? Maybe. Okay, go ahead.
So it was built by Freeland Oscar Stanley, who is an inventor from Massachusetts. The land the Stanley Hotel was actually built on was purchased in 1908 by Lord Dunraven, an Irish man.
What a fucking name.
Yeah, what a fucking name. You're not wrong. An Irishman who was buying up a lot of land in the same area at the time because he wanted to make it into a private hunting ground for himself.
Of course, a lord.
Right. Lord Dunraven, yes.
Lord Dunraven hunting on his personal grounds.
Right, because that's not pretentious. So he was actually also known around town, like all the towns in that area, like Denver and like surrounding areas.
Oh, okay.
Because he ran a lot of brothels.
Oh.
And he would just approach women on the street that he thought should work for him.
Oh, Jesus.
It didn't matter if they were married or not.
What the fuck?
Right. So he would just go up to somebody's wife and be like, oh, hi, darling. It's so nice to see you. You're beautiful. Do you want to come work for me?
You're voluptuous. Come work in my brothel. What the fuck? The balls on this guy.
No fucking joke. So nobody really liked him, as you can imagine.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh. So between 1872 and 1884, he claimed 15,000 acres of land to try and create that private hunting preserve, which was another reason that made him incredibly unpopular.
What an asshole.
He was a cock dick.
You just need 10 acres, dude. Like,
no, 15,000.
15,000 or 1,500?
15,000.
Oh, Jesus, fuck.
Yeah. That's a lot.
For one guy.
What a dick.
How small is your penis? All right.
Oh, is it just measured in land instead of the size of your truck?
Well, they don't have trucks.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So, thankfully, the hunting preserve didn't stick.
Thank God.
And Dunraven left the area for the last time in 1884.
Get the fuck out.
He left the land in the trust of the overseer, who ended up selling it to Stanley. So
now we're back into 1908.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Stanley was notable because I told you he was an inventor, right?
Okay.
So he was notable for founding the Stanley Motor Carriage Company, which operated from 1902 to 1924.
Okay.
And produced the Stanley steamers, steam-powered cars.
Steam-powered cars.
Yeah.
That means there had to be
Isn't that wild?
coal.
Yes.
Burning
in the car.
In the car.
Yeah, because that's cool. Here we are.
Here we are. What a neat guy.
Right? What a neat little fellow. In 1903, he was diagnosed with tuberculosis. The treatment was, quote, fresh air with much sunlight and a hearty diet. That was how you treated tuberculosis.
You still died.
Right. Basically. So many lungers, as they were called.
Lungers?
Right, because that makes sense. People who had lung issues were called lungers. Okay, great. What the fuck? So Stanley moved to the Rocky Mountains and finally ended up settling in Estes Park, Colorado.
Okay.
Since it was so bright and airy and untarnished by everything else. Stanley healed up dramatically in the time period that he was there.
Whoa.
Like, by the next summer, he was cured, basically. Like, I don't know how the fuck that happened.
What?
That doesn't work.
Happen. That's not how any of this works.
Right, but here we are.
Okay.
So, as a result of that, he decided to return every year in the summer. So, in the winter, he would go back east where he lived.
Okay,
and
Massachusetts.
Okay. And then during the summer, he would come back and live in the mountains.
What the fuck?
Isn't that wild?
That's wild.
That's a long-ass trip in the early 1900s.
Months.
Woo! As a result of him deciding to live there, he and his wife built a house, but decided, it's not really as luxurious as we want it to be.
My fucking
and I
God.
mean, we miss the luxurious hustle and bustle of the East.
Oh my God.
So they built a hotel to draw tourism and create a community around themselves. Isn't that just like the most bougie shit you've ever heard?
Off. Okay.
So this hotel, which is the Stanley Hotel, Stanley wanted to name it after Dunraven because that's who he bought the property from, right?
That pretentious asshole.
Everybody signed a petition not to get him to fucking name it that. They were like, no, that guy's a dick. No thanks. Isn't that great? Yes.
So many fucking people hate you.
Yes.
That they wrote a petition.
Yeah, to like not name the hotel Dunraven.
Oh my God.
Like, because he wanted to call it the Dunraven, and everybody was like, fuck you, that's a dumb name, don't do that.
Fuck you. And that guy.
Funny. So funny.
That's great.
So he named it the Stanley Hotel after himself and his wife.
That's also equally pretentious, but okay.
Very much so, but I like it better than the Dunraven.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So the hotel had electric lights, ensuite bathrooms, telephones, a staff of servants, and a fleet of Stanley steamer cars for guests to use. A fleet.
Of course, because it's,
right.
He invented the car, so.
Exactly.
What a fucking hotel.
What a guy. So the main concert hall and hotel were completed in 1909, and the manor was attached in 1910. So this place is fucking huge.
Oh, so
it's very big.
So like the manor, I guess, is he and his wife. Mm-hmm. And then the
I believe so,
hotel. And then he's attracting other peasant people to come entertain him, essentially.
Come give me all your money and stay in my hotel.
Okay.
So the closest train station to the hotel was in Lyons? Lyons, I think that's Lyons, Colorado.
Okay.
So naturally, Stanley created special cars he called, quote, mountain wagons to drive people from the station to the hotel. Because they had to go up this, like, hill mountain deal.
That's more steam power, baby.
Correct.
Oh, gosh. He designed special cars to do that.
Yes.
Let me just whip out the blueprints real quick and whip up this car.
Oh, that's so funny.
Fuck is this story? Okay.
I love it. So at one point he actually stated that the hotel was more of a hobby than a business because he spent more money on it than he made every year.
Okay.
He only had it open during the summer months also. He closed it for the winter when he left to go back to Massachusetts.
This story gets more and more pretentious.
It's ridiculous,
it's
dude. It's great.
I have a hotel and it's just a hobby and I just created these cars. And
I'm just a hotel hobby connoisseur. Like, excuse me. It's so good. All right. So in 1926, he sold the Stanley Hotel because it was just kind of getting out of hand for him. He was getting older. He's like, it's fine.
And he survived TB?
Yes. Yeah.
I have never heard of that.
Me either. But here we are. That's crazy because remember he got sick in the early 1900s, like 1909, right? It's 1926.
Oh, so he...
Yeah.
I didn't know that you could actually survive
Me neither.
TB.
That's fucking wild. But here we are.
All right, cool.
Maybe the Rocky Mountains just have a like healing power all their own. So he sells it to another company, and then that company runs it until 1929. 3 years. 3 whole years.
What?
And then Stanley repurchased the hotel out of foreclosure in 1930.
So that company ran it into the ground?
Right. Yes. Yeah, because I mean, it's such a pretentious ass hotel. It's so expensive to run. Nobody else had that kind of money because they didn't realize, you're spending more than you're making. So it was just a bad business plan.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, like nobody could afford to do it because they didn't have excess income coming in like Stanley did.
So it really was a hobby hotel.
Yes.
Oh.
100%. So
What the fuck?
he repurchased it in 1930 out of foreclosure and was like, oh no, my baby. And then sold it to a fellow automobile mogul, Roe Emery of Denver. So this guy comes down from Denver, is like, okay, I'll buy this hotel. That's fine. And just keeps running it just through the winter.
Okay.
So he kept doing that until 1983. So he bought it in 1940 and he kept running it only open during the summer until 1983.
Okay.
So 43 years?
Something like that.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
Yes. So the business for the hotel had actually started to die down in the 1970s, and Emery was considering selling it or just abandoning it, just being done with it because it was expensive. Until in 1974 when Stephen King stayed in the Stanley with his wife.
Oh, that's why it's haunted right there. That's it. Done deal.
So they were the only guests at the hotel that night because they came a week before closing time for the winter.
Okay.
So all the other guests were checking out as they walked into this. So like everyone else was leaving, which is just kind of bananas to me. King actually recounted that he was talking to some friends in the surrounding area and they were like, hey, so, you need some time to like settle in and like figure out some stuff for a book, right? Because he'd only written, I think, Pet Sematary and another one prior to this that was like a real big hit.
So he's only written 2 books at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
So they were like, okay, well, why don't you go stay at the Stanley Hotel? It's like, it's secluded, it's beautiful, like you'll have a great time. And he's like, okay, yeah, why the hell not? Let's go. So they get there. Oh, it's so good. So they got booked into room 217, which is the presidential suite.
Ooh.
And coincidentally, the only room that had clean sheets because all the rest of them had been stripped for the winter.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't leave linens on the beds. They're just going to get dank. So
that's not what I was going to say, but okay. Great description.
You're welcome.
Okay.
It's musty, gross smell. I just
Danky
for some reason my brain went dank. That's the right word.
Let's use that word today.
Little goblin in my brain was like, this one, that's the right one. So the Stephen King book, The Shining, was inspired by the events that took place during their stay.
I was racking my head. I was like, what fucking book did he write at a hotel? And it's The Shining.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Ooh. So when asked about his experiences, King says that the long, empty hallways and the feeling of isolation are something that really inspired him to write The Shining.
Yeah, because it's a massive hotel and he's literally the only guest there.
Correct. So keep in mind, as I continue with the story, The Shining was inspired by true events, not based on them. So that's important. Yes. So he took like some of his things and expounded on it, not like this is what happened based in reality.
Okay.
So
inspired.
Yes. Very much inspired.
Why are there events in this hotel that inspired that fucking book?
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's great. So King enjoyed drinking whiskey. Same. At the local hotel bar.
Yeah, your fucking box whiskey.
It's so good. Shut up. It's cheaper than bottles because you don't have to pay for the glass. Here we are. Yeah. It's the same quality. It's just in a box instead.
I didn't think about that.
That's my favorite. That's why I buy boxed wine as well, because 4 bottles, like it's the equivalent of 4 bottles for the price of 1. Like, that's what you do. But here we are. It lasts a lot longer. It's great.
So, I'm going to put like a box of wine on tap in my closet.
Yes, please do. That's a great idea.
Actually. Oh God. Okay. That was the inner alcoholic in me that I suppressed a long time ago.
Same.
All right, go.
That's okay. Mine's on a...
Yours not suppressed.
Mine's in my fridge. It's fine. It keeps it cold. So, anywho, King enjoyed drinking whiskey at the hotel bar, and after a few, started roaming the massive hallways of the hotel. On the 4th floor, he encountered 2 little girls, which he found kind of strange since he knew they were the only guests in the hotel, but kind of brushed it off, assuming that they were probably children of staff members or something else. Of course they weren't. They were ghosts.
What the
because the next day he went downstairs and was like, oh, does somebody have kids that works here? And they were like, no.
Why the fuck is this hotel haunted? You said nothing as to why this hotel...
We'll get there.
What the fuck?
It's so good. I'll get there. Just wait. So, found the little girls. That was kind of spooky.
So that's why there's 2 girls in that. Oh.
Yep, that actually inspired those kids.
Okay, cool.
So it's also said that he heard a party in the ballroom.
That's also
a full
in
party.
The book.
Yeah, even though there were no guests at the Stanley. So it's also said that he witnessed a young child and a maid walking around his room in the middle of the night.
What?
Yeah. So
I
just
got cold chills.
He would see them.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's keep in mind room 217.
Did his wife also see these things? Is that said?
I couldn't find any information on it.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. She could have just been like conked out of sleep. I don't know. So King actually, on the way back to his room from his wandering around the hallways, he sees a fire hose on the wall, right? Like how they had fire hoses back in the day because they didn't have sprinklers.
Yes.
That night when he finally like got in the room, got in bed, went to sleep, he had a nightmare of his 3-year-old son running down the hallway, screaming, looking over his shoulder, eyes bugging out of his head, being chased by a wild fire hose that strangled him to death.
What a fucking nightmare.
No shit.
Oh my God.
So he wakes up out of this nightmare drenched in sweat, like about to fall out of the bed, and he gets up and he smokes a cigarette, and like by the end of the time he got to the end of the cigarette, he's like, okay, I got the framework for The Shining done in his head. Because he was trying to write a different story. Like, he had it all laid out. It was going to be like a haunted circus. And he had it all laid out. And he was like, the setting's just not right. It just doesn't feel right. So he was going here to try and settle in and figure out through his head what he was going to do. A whole different book. So
because of that fucking hotel.
Correct.
Cool.
So that's wild.
Now tell me why.
Maybe here. So room 217, which is the room that he stayed in, and the room that he actually is the main character of the book in The Shining is told to avoid, is room 217 as well. That's important. Room 217 is now the most requested room in the hotel, and it books years in advance. Years. Right? That's wild.
All right, so let me hop here up on...
You can't find it. I already tried.
What?
You have to call them and say, hey, I want this room, and then they'll tell you. And I didn't want to call them this morning, so here we are. Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Because I went through, because I was like, shit, I wonder how far out it's booked. And I went to look, and you can't request that room. You have to call.
You have to call. Have to call.
Which makes me a little upsetty spaghetti, because I was like, oh, that would have been really fun. But here we are.
Unfortunately not. Maybe sometime when we grow courage and not anxiety.
Yeah.
We'll
maybe,
call.
Here we are. So.
Not today.
I found out that room 217, like Halloween weekends are the most booked time, right?
Okay.
It's booked out for at least 10 years for Halloween weekends.
Tell me why. Tell me
because of the experiences.
Nothing but why?
We'll get there.
No.
You just gotta wait, bro.
I can't. You're freaking me out. You've said nothing as to why this fucking hotel is haunted.
I know. This is actually really fun because I gave you the history of the place, and now I'm just like continuing. I'm still in the history, man. We're still in the history.
I know. I'm about to like freak out.
This is my favorite. So, actually, the hotel, which I think is really kind of fun, Halloween weekends, will do a masquerade Shining themed ball every year.
Oh my God.
Isn't that cool?
That's amazing.
I love it.
That's amazing.
So, of course, you know that they turned the Shining book into a movie. Stanley Kubrick, I think, directed the movie, produced. I don't remember.
One of the two.
So the room that the son, Danny, is told to avoid is not 217 like in the novel. It's 237 in the movie.
Okay.
Because the hotel that the movie was filmed in, which was not the Stanley, by the way.
Okay.
The hotel was afraid that people would avoid that room and didn't want to risk losing money, which I thought was kind of silly because, here we are.
But you're...
Right.
But there's another room. So did their numbers not go up to 237?
Nope. 237 didn't exist in their hotel.
Oh, so they just got a placard and just threw it on the door and was like, yep, here we go.
Yep, this is 237. Yeah, so...
No,
Isn't that interesting?
That would bring them.
Correct. So that hotel fucked up big time.
Like how it happened to the Stanley Hotel. Idiots.
Yes. So have you seen The Shining?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So it's been
watched
a minute,
it by myself.
Bless you. I read the book by myself. My mom read it by herself in a snowstorm. I was like, why the fuck did you do that?
Why would you do that?
And she was like, I
think I also read it during the winter time or watched it during the winter time. I watched it.
It's the time to do it.
Who did I watch it? Did I watch it by myself like a psychopath?
I don't know.
I don't know where
It's a good
I was,
movie.
But I watched it. So here we are.
That's a really good movie.
So tell me about it.
So the Stanley Hotel did not have a hedge maze like the King novel, right? But in honor of him in the book, they actually created one. Isn't that cool?
That's super dope.
It makes me happy. So when the Kubrick movie was released, King was real mad. He did not like it at all.
Seriously?
Yes. It's reported that part of it was due to Jack Nicholson's portrayal of the main character. He was like, I fucking hate it. I don't like that.
So did King not have any say over the movie?
No, he did not.
Then how the fuck?
Right. So they
He
bought
wrote
the rights.
the book.
Correct.
How did they buy the rights?
I mean, they paid him money and were like, hey, we're going to make this movie. And he was like, okay. And of course, being a young writer, was like, oh, yeah, they're going to do it justice. No, they did not.
But I mean, it was still a great movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It just wasn't true to what he wanted.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
So, that being the case, he decided to call up the Stanley Hotel and say, hey, is it okay if we come shoot a miniseries in your hotel for the book? And they were like, fuck yeah, man, come on. So he shot a full miniseries in their hotel, which has made it even more famous. So here we are. Who won there?
Stanley Hotel.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Every time.
So depending on which adaptation you like more, the hotel runs a 24-hour-a-day loop of both of them on their television channels.
Are you serious?
Yes. Isn't that great?
That's hilarious.
Imagine watching the
Shining
movie
over
in the room in 217. Ooh, here we are. So that's kind of cool.
I want to know what event aspired. Wasn't there a naked lady in the bathtub at one point in the movie?
So yes, that's actually also in the book. King went into the bathroom and like pulled the little shower curtain thingy and looked down and saw the clawfoot tub and was like, what if somebody died in here? What would that look like? What would that be like? And then there we are. And that's how another thing that sparked the book to him.
Okay.
Was seeing that claw-footed tub and just the way it looked. He was like, oh, fuck, yeah, that'd be great.
That's eloquent enough. Yeah. Eloquent enough someone could die in that tub.
Basically.
Let's write about it.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
cool. All right.
So the Stanley Hotel currently offers a day and a night tour. They tell you the history of the hotel, famous visitors. Unfortunately, right now, due to COVID, they're only they're limited to 10 people per tour, which sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but it sucks. There was at one point prior to COVID, you could pay to spend the night in a room and they would give you like all sorts of ghost hunting equipment. And you could just sit up in the whole night and like do ghost hunting in the room, which was cool.
Why is it haunted? Tell me.
This is my favorite.
I'm getting so mad. Why is it haunted?
So the Stanley Hotel also features a resident
I don't give
psychic.
a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Tell me.
And a paranormal investigator at all times, like on staff.
That's so cool. But tell me why it's haunted, bitch.
We're getting there. I have 2 more bullets. Chill. So the staff points out that there are only good spirits there. There's no demons or malevolent spirits, which is cool, right?
Okay.
That's great.
All right. That's
and of course, the most prevalent spirit is in 217. And now I'm going to tell you why, at least for that one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's go back to 1911.
2 years after the hotel was built.
Yes.
Okay.
So when the hotel opened,
Uh-huh.
it was one of the few hotels powered entirely by electricity.
Okay.
Unfortunately, since it was so remote, electricity was hard to maintain. So in 1911, they installed an auxiliary gas lighting system in June of that year.
Okay.
On the 25th, a day after the lines were installed and filled with gas, there was a storm that knocked out all the power in the hotel. So there was this one maid who her job was to go and like light all the gas lamps in the hotel and all the rooms, right? So when she walked into room 217 with a lit candle, the whole place went up. It just exploded.
Oh.
Right. So I actually checked to see when natural gas was first odorized because, of course, now we know what that smell is.
I low-key
yeah.
did not know that.
Really? Oh, okay.
Like, I feel
That's
like
okay.
in some crevice of my brain.
That's okay. I mean, I just got to thinking about it and I was like, how did she not know? Because you smell natural gas. Like, you drive by somewhere that, like, does that, you know what that smell is.
Yes, it stank.
Right.
I did not know that was added. I felt like I should know that was added. I did not. Okay.
Probably did somewhere in your brain.
Yeah, because that's actually where I was going. I was like, why did she not smell that?
Right. So I looked at it to see when that first happened because I was like, it had to have been in the early 1900s, right? So it was 1880 in Germany is the first time it was done. So I don't know why she still walked in that room. I don't know if the smell hadn't leached out under the door. I don't know if there had been just such a buildup that as soon as she opened the door, that bitch went up. I don't know. I don't know if it took her walking in. I have no idea. But I came up with a couple of theories because I was like, that's fucking weird. Why would you not like smell that and go, oh shit?
Oh, hell no.
Right.
Yeah.
Put your candle out. Ugh. But here we are.
I mean, to be fair,
she could never have smelled it before.
she could have just been like, oh man, it smells funny, and just didn't put two and two together, kind of like how I did the gas grill.
Yeah.
And it blew up in my face.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it is what it is. It happens.
What it is. Yeah.
So, regardless, it happened. So, an article telegraphed to the York Dispatch in Pennsylvania read, quote, "The Stanley Hotel, built at a cost of $500,000, was partially wrecked last night by an explosion of gas. 8 persons were injured, 1 seriously. None of the guests were injured. Elizabeth Wilson of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, a hotel employee, was hurtled from the second floor to the first and broke both ankles, and 7 other waiters were injured."
Oh.
Yep.
She was thrown?
Yes. That was what that first report said.
How was she thrown from the second floor? Was it an open balcony?
Nope. It exploded. So, in the blast, it took out 10% of the west wing of the hotel.
Oh, okay. So she probably went through the floor.
Yeah, because all of the gas lines to all the other rooms
also exploded.
Right.
Oof.
Yes, because, you blow one thing up, it puts pressure on other stuff, and then just, woof, gone.
Okay.
So there was actually a reprinted article after that initial one, where her name was changed.
The fuck?
And I don't know why. I have no idea. So some people call her Elizabeth Lambert. Some people say Elizabeth Wilson. I even saw one where it was Elizabeth Smith. I have no idea. I don't know why her name was changed either, but here we are. Another article was published saying that the hotel was undergoing some repairs, but would still be accepting guests. So even though 10% of it got fucked up, they're still like, it's fine, come on.
It's fine, we'll just block it off with
don't worry about it, it's okay. So the damage done had been around $10,000, and it stated that the maid did not, in fact, fall from the second floor to the first. She was caught by the rafters and hung there until she was successfully rescued. So.
The fuck?
That's wild. That in that secondary publication, it was, oh, no, she didn't fall from the second to the first. She got caught on the rafters, but she still broke her ankles.
That makes no sense.
I don't understand.
So she didn't die?
No, she lived.
Then why is it haunted?
So, regardless of what really happened, Stanley took care of Elizabeth.
Okay.
So he paid for all of her medical bills, no problem, promoted her to head chambermaid, paid for her children to go to college, and told her that she could do any task at the hotel she wanted, but she would never be required to light another gas lamp.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 human being. That's
shit.
Jesus.
Yes. So, here we are. After she finally did pass away, she's now seen in room 217 often, and the room actually used to be larger. So room 217 has now been split down the middle, and it's 217 and 215. It used to just be 217.
Okay.
So people will see her walking through the wall, where it's, to her, when she was alive, it wasn't
there.
Right. It was just another section of room. So people will see that. It's actually speculated.
You'll hear people screaming in 215, and then it's like, why are they? And then it's, oh, God.
Oh, hi. Hello. It's nice to see you. So it's actually speculated that the woman Stephen King saw walking around in his room was Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
She is the only ghost that makes sense in this whole fucking hotel.
Excuse me, what?
She's the only one that died there. She's it. Everyone else, I don't know where the fuck they came from.
Okay.
So
let's go.
That's the only explanation you're going to get. Sorry. That's why I made it take so long, because I was like, this is the only satisfying thing you're going to find.
So there's other ghosts in the hotel.
Oh, so many.
And there's no fucking reason for them to be there.
Nope. Absolutely no explanation. I don't know.
Okay, tell me about the other ghosts.
So Elizabeth has been known to hang up people's clothing.
What the fuck?
Put away their suitcases.
No!
And just generally straighten up the room. So people...
That's the fucking best ghost that's been on this fucking podcast. Oh my God.
So people will go down to the lobby, and then they'll come back up, and they'll see their shoes lined up perfectly in like neat little rows at the end of the bed.
Whoa, that was a bad cold chill.
You're welcome.
Jesus.
Also, Elizabeth is very judgmental of unmarried couples. So, if you're not married, don't go sleep in this room, okay?
What? Like what?
So, couples will start getting hot heavy, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they will feel a cold, angry presence in between them on the bed to try and separate them.
That's fucking wild.
She didn't give a shit if you're married. She's like, I do whatever you want. But if you're not, oh no. She's very upset.
That's fucking weird.
Isn't that funny? I was like, damn, girl. Okay.
What a fucking ghost.
Yeah, that's wild.
Jeez.
And, like,
how specific.
Right?
How specific.
That's crazy to me. But here we are.
Okay.
Recently, air ducts, like the air ducts were all getting cleaned out in the hotel. And in 2017, when they were cleaning them out, they found remnants of the original carpeting, which was green with red and blue details. And the wallpaper, which had a floral pattern with red, pink, and green.
Okay.
So they took those things and actually matched them up to the original black and white pictures of the hotel.
Right.
Because they're black and white. You didn't know what color it was. Oh. So now they know what the colors of the hotel were. And that was actually Stanley's wife, Flo? Yes.
Okay.
Flora? I think her full name was Flora. Flora. Flora.
Okay.
You could actually see, like, what her taste was, because she's the one that actually, like, chose the designs for the whole hotel.
Well, of course it was. It was a hobby hotel.
Yeah, I know, isn't that cute? Oh, that's so sweet. Rich people. So, so here is the explanation for why people think it's so haunted. It was built on quartz and limestone, which, like, the ground. So people associate those with the spirits being so strong and able to attach to the building so easily. That's the only explanation I have.
Quartz and limestone.
Yes.
What?
That's what I got.
What?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's what I got.
Great theory. 10 out of 10.
Here we are.
Okay.
So Flo Stanley loved entertaining guests. She's the first ghost. You can still hear her playing the piano.
That one makes sense.
Right. Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay.
You can hear her playing the piano all hours of the day or night. It doesn't matter. She'll play the piano to her heart's content, by God.
So the piano goes
All the time.
all the time. And no one's there.
Correct.
Okay.
You can see her in photos taken on the main staircase. When there's nobody there.
Oh.
Like, you can just take a picture of the staircase and you're probably going to get something. It's like some sort of a distortion or some sort of outline of her one way or another.
That's crazy.
That's wild to me.
Ugh.
Her apparition is also seen in the music room because that was actually a gift from Mr. Stanley to her. He built her the music room because she loved music so much.
Oh, rich people.
I know, right? That's so sweet. Jesus.
Build you a whole fucking room.
Oh, it'd be so nice. So, Mr. Stanley is also seen in the hotel, which makes sense. He's literally seen everywhere. All over the hotel. Walking around. He's seen in the bar. He's seen in the main entrance, the lobby, like everywhere. Ballroom, doesn't matter. He's fucking there. It's assumed that he's walking around looking, making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing because he's still looking after his hotel.
Oh, I'm sure he was like the manager, supervisor, person, director.
Lord Dunraven is also a spirit in this hotel.
Motherfucker.
He went back to Ireland. I don't know why he's here.
What the fuck?
I know. So
that one doesn't make sense.
I told you.
He wasn't even he wasn't there when the hotel
was never in the hotel.
What?
I don't get it.
No, there's no way.
I swear. So he creeps around the 4th floor where all the maids were housed, probably to try and convince them to go work for him.
Oh
like
my
the creep
fucking
he is.
God. Wait, like, has someone seen his apparition and like detailed it enough to equate it back to Dunraven?
Yep.
I don't like that.
Me neither.
But what a fucking asshole. He's fucking still asking women to the brothel.
I don't like him. So you can smell pipe or cigarette smoke in the air whenever he's around. Then he is very responsive to the flashlight game. And he loves touching people.
Women.
Yes.
Just say it.
Yeah, he likes touching women. That's his favorite thing to do. There is one room in particular that he frequents that I'll go into it in a little more detail. But men are not comfortable in that room. But women are like, this is too comfortable. I don't like this. Stop touching me.
I feel too... Okay.
Yes. So.
Wow.
Yeah, he's kind of a toxic.
Another specific...
Yes.
What the fuck? We gotta go.
I would love that. That'd be great.
Cool.
So there's a bunch of children ghosts in this hotel that run around the 4th floor, which makes sense because that's where Stephen King saw the 2 little girls.
Why the 4th floor?
So this is where the maids and the nannies lived.
Oh, that's why.
That's the assumption.
Okay.
But like I said, no little kids died there, so I don't know why the fuck they're there.
Why is there so much energy in this place?
That quartz and limestone, apparently. That combination, I don't fucking know.
The quartz. There's some magic...
If anybody knows anything about rocks, can you give me a lesson, please?
I was about to say.
I don't know shit.
Let's say witches?
Yeah.
Do rocks?
Some of them, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, tell me about all the stones, please, because I don't know too much.
That's a lot of quartz.
Yes, it had to have been.
There has to be a lot of quartz underneath the hotel.
Yeah, because it's a wild amount of activity, man.
Okay.
So these children will run around. You can also hear them giggling and whispering in the closets.
No.
And the closets will open and close by themselves.
Fuck off.
Yep.
Oh, God.
There's one little boy that will try and wake up other children on the 4th floor. So, like, in the middle of the night, because he wants to play with them.
Play with me. No, go fuck yourself.
So the parents will find the kids awake in the middle of the night, and they're like, what are you doing? Go back to sleep. And the kid says, oh, he keeps trying to wake me up to play, but I'm tired. I don't want to play right now. So that's fun. I mean, it's just a friendly little kid, right?
I don't give a shit. Kids, no kid ghosts.
Another little boy will turn the TV on really loudly in the middle of the night and turn the lights on and off.
What a little shit. I'd fucking...
And it's rude. So, it's rude. This one makes me uncomfortable. There was a little girl that likes to play peekaboo on the stairs. I don't like peekaboo with normal children, not even ghost children.
On the stairs?
On the stairs, like she'll peek around the side or like over the top. I don't like it.
No.
Ooh. Sorry, I like panic screamed at you guys. That one got me. I don't like the sound of it.
I think you like it a little bit.
Fuck off. So the main staircase where the little girl, like the little kid that likes to play peekaboo and
the wife is there.
The lady.
Okay.
Is nicknamed the Vortex.
The fuck? Why? Oh.
Due to experiences, like all the experiences that happen there.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like a 15-degree tilt and you could put shit on the staircase and it won't fall down.
That'd be pretty fun though, but no. That's a different place in Colorado.
Yeah, it's called
something.
Vortex.
Yeah,
so that's
I want to go there too. We can make like a whole trip. It'd be great. So, of course I mentioned all the pictures of Mrs. Stanley. Other experiences that people note are really very cold temperature drops, like
on the
big
staircase.
cold spots. Yes.
Okay.
On the staircase specifically. Guests will start to feel dizzy, coupled with the feeling that someone walked through them.
Ugh.
Orbs and distortions are caught on cameras a lot, and there have even been some reports of Mr. and Mrs. Stanley standing hand in hand watching everything as it like goes on, which is kind of cool. Like that's really sweet that they're like watching over their hotel and they're together, and you know that's cute, I guess, but still spooky. I don't like it.
Still spooks.
Paul is another spirit.
Who the fuck is Paul?
Let me tell you. He was well known in the early days of the hotel to enforce the 11 p.m. curfew. So there
was curfews in hotels?
Apparently.
Okay.
So he was kind of a jack of all trades. He did like all sorts of stuff around the hotel, but that was one of his favorite jobs, was to tell people to go to bed.
The fuck to bed.
Right. So
go the fuck to sleep.
He will get up next to guests who are still awake at 11 and tell them to get out.
Oh,
audibly.
No.
Like, not on equipment. Like, you'll just hear some dude right next to you go, get out. Like,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He also loves, like, flicking the lights on and off. If you're still awake at 11 p.m., he'll, like, turn the lights on and off to remind you it's time to go to sleep.
Eat shit, asshole. Oh, my God.
Ooh. And he loves to communicate through the flashlight game. That's his favorite yes or no, like, tap the thing. He loves that. There's another place called the Ice House. Which was, of course, you know, before the creation of indoor refrigeration. The hotel had a house filled with ice blocks that was kind of like dug down so that it would keep everything cold.
Yeah, like the meats.
Yeah.
And the cheeses.
So the spirits that inhabit this place are the spirit of a shy little boy named Billy and a blurry figure that loves to show up in photos, but is still blurry if you see him.
What?
Yes. So that one gave me the goosebumps. I
have goosebumps. A blurry apparition.
Yes,
that's a new one. That is a new one. Okay.
Because like that's a new descriptor, because you can say there's like a hazy shadow, but saying like it's blurry, like it's
constantly blurry.
Yeah, I don't like it. He's a glitchy boy.
So our IRL glitch.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So this one I thought was like, I was confused when I first read it because I was like, that's not right. And I had to reread it and find it from a couple of different sources because I was like, that's stupid. It's Pet Cemetery. which was not created because of Stephen King, just so we get that clear.
I actually don't know anything about Pet Sematary.
Okay, we'll watch that movie another day and read the book sometime.
Okay, cool.
But this Pet Cemetery was literally just animals that died there.
Wait, there's a pet cemetery at
the Stanley Hotel.
What the
Yes.
fuck?
So that was already there prior to Stephen King coming to visit, because he'd already written the book Pet Cemetery, so it's not like it was inspired by this or anything.
Okay, let's kill some pets and make a cemetery.
No, it was just two beloved pets that had died on the property.
Okay.
They buried Cassie, a golden retriever, and Shamish? Yeah, that's right, Shamish, a fluffy white cat.
Okay.
Both of them are seen wandering the grounds or like all throughout the hotel. You can see these animal spirits.
What the fuck?
Basically, what the fuck? I don't know. Underground caves?
What?
Apparently there is an underground cave structure.
It's
beneath the hotel.
Supposed to be a hotel. This is getting wild.
Correct.
Okay.
It's just nonstop, my dude.
Well, yeah, with limestone, it roads away and creates tunnels. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
So they use those tunnels to move in between different sections of the hotel because there's different buildings to this place. So they would like use that to navigate down and under and whatever. So when you're down there, you get the smell of baked goods.
Oh.
Yeah. Baked goods. Like fresh baked pastries. Which they assume is because of the pastry chef that worked for the Stanleys early on.
Okay.
I don't know why the fuck he was down there so much, but pastry smells all the time.
What the fuck is this hotel? I have never heard of this hotel. Okay.
It's wild. I love this.
What's fucking happening?
I didn't know half this shit, man. Like, this is crazy. So, there's also a gray cat with bright, vivid, glowing green eyes that will just, like, wander the fuck around and just, like, hang out and meow.
We gotta go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's actually, like, that doesn't even sound creepy. It just sounds cool.
Yeah, right? It's great. So
it's like babies first. Okay.
Yeah, it's the greatest. It's like calm. Like none of the spirits are evil. Like it's great. This is my favorite kind of story. It's like, let me tell you about all the shit, but also it's not bad.
Okay,
I love this.
Okay, cool.
This is much better than Poveglia. So let me tell you about some hauntings that I found, like room specific stuff. Okay. So room 302 is where we're gonna start. There is a male ghost that walks around the room as a black shadow.
Oh God.
He loves the corners of the room specifically, but
what a fucking dick.
The pictures will get thrown off the walls, and ghost hunters went here, and Grant from
Taps?
Ghost Hunter, yes,
okay.
Taps, that boy,
yes,
was changing film because they stayed there overnight. He was changing film out in his camera, and the fucking table levitated. So he didn't get it on camera because he was changing tapes.
Motherfucker.
Right? Doesn't that suck?
That sucks.
So he was like, this is bullshit, but it levitated, I swear. So that sucks, but here we are. So in room 413, you'll see a man in old-fashioned clothing who likes to stand in the corner because why the fuck not?
Oh my God, what a dick.
Basically.
What a fucking dick.
So you can also see his face in like a blue orb ball thing. Just his face on the door.
Just has a blue orb on the door.
On the door.
The fuck kind of bullshit is that?
I don't know. I don't really understand, but here we are.
Okay.
So in room 401, I don't know why I didn't put 401 before 413, but here we are.
It's okay. We don't have to go in order.
Thanks. Thank goodness. I'd be in trouble.
Society.
The fuck norms. So another ghost hunters crew member named Jason had a glass of water on his nightstand, and while he was asleep, it exploded.
Yeah, fuck that glass of water.
Basically, just...
What do you mean exploded?
It exploded. Like, it just shattered and went fucking everywhere. Like, exploded.
Damn.
Yes. That kind of freaks me out a little bit. This is the room Lord Dunraven loves to haunt.
Okay.
Is room 401.
Okay.
When women are in the closet, I don't like putting their clothes away or getting their clothes out or what the fuck ever, he will touch their hair, like play with their hair. He'll put an arm around their shoulder or their waist. And sometimes he will even run his hand up the back of their legs.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say back. That just got worse.
Way worse. Up
the back of their leg?
Yeah. So men don't feel welcome here. They don't feel comfortable. They're not happy.
Is this?
Room 401.
We got to go there.
I'm not going in there. I'm not going to let Dunraven touch my booty. Thanks. So he... Whenever men will stay in this room, obviously they don't feel comfortable. They don't sleep well. Sometimes their jewelry will go missing. Like if they have a watch or a necklace or something.
That's nuts.
Like Dunraven will steal it and put it in a different place in the hotel. Like just random fucking place. It could be the lobby. It could be the ballroom.
What?
It could be another room. Like just a different place, like an asshole.
Just a fuck you.
Right, basically. Like get out of my room,
God.
you weenie. So that's uncomfortable. And then Dunraven will sometimes hide in the closet and open and close it for fun.
This guy's a cunt. Fuck him.
Basically, he's
oh
a
my
dick.
God.
Oh, so then room 407, people will get tucked in this room.
I'm okay. Let's do that room. I want to do that room.
like
Tuck
that.
me. No, I love being tucked in.
No.
Tuck me in.
So there's this little boy who kept kicking his covers off in his sleep, and then they would get like pulled up and over him again.
Okay, actually, you know what? I just fucking changed my mind.
Yeah, no thank you. I'm not about that shit. So his mom, like the next morning, he was like, Mom, why did you keep tucking me in? I was hot. And she was like, I didn't wake up in the middle of the night. What do you mean?
Excuse me?
So another guest reported feeling someone sit down on her bed when she had her lights off, like going to sleep. And when she turned the light on, nobody was there, but they were like, she could clearly see the indentation of where someone had sat on her fucking bed.
A booty.
Yes. A booty indentation.
A booty indentation.
I don't like it. So in 418,
okay,
this place has got a lot of rooms that are a lot of haunted. Okay,
it's just a Russian roulette,
basically.
All
like
right.
You're gonna get a good room or you're gonna get a fuckity room. I don't know. Let's find out. So covers in 418 will be pulled off of you in the middle of the night. Rude. By little kid spirit.
Oh, fucking little shit.
This is 4th floor.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Bathroom lights will get turned on and off, and a little girl was even tickled in the middle of the night. Others have reported feeling like their legs are being hugged. So you get one or the other. You either get like your legs constricted or like your toes tickled. That's I don't like either one.
This is fucking wild. What is happening?
It's a crazy place, man. Room 428.
Okay.
I don't like this one. Has the sounds of footsteps and furniture moving around.
Nope.
And is the home to a cowboy ghost who appears at the corner of your bed.
Are you a cowboy?
He is.
Are you a cowboy? That's a TikTok.
It is.
No, it's a Vine.
I was about to say, that's not a TikTok. That's a Vine, broski.
Oh, no.
Huh?
No.
Huh?
Appears at the corner of your bed?
Yes. And we'll like walk back and forth in front of the like foot of your bed. Like with those little spurs. Like,
Chick. Okay.
Yeah. Right? I don't like that. So someone reported when that happened, they saw him and they were like, sir, I'm so sorry. We don't want you here. Can you leave? And he like tipped his hat and then leaned over and kissed the woman on her forehead and then left. So he does that to other people too.
No! What the fuck?
That's why I don't like it. Like if something leans over me, like fuck you. No, man. I don't care if it's a nice gesture. Nope. So that's fun.
Like
yeah, like the forehead kisses happen to other people too. It's not just that one woman. It's like multiples.
The fact that like I've never seen even a black mist, so
Right.
the thought of actually seeing something that vivid.
Yeah, no, fuck you. I'm not about that. So, my favorite quote that I found was we have more nights with activity than without. It's like a Disneyland for ghosts.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Yes, basically, because it's great. There were some other stories that I considered putting in, but I don't even know where we're at, and I feel like we're gonna be too long. So
Oh, fuck yeah, actually.
yeah. So, but yeah, it's a good place. There's a lot of good stories. Like Google you some, and you'll find some good.
So
things.
there's more?
Yeah, there's like other things that have happened.
Jesus.
Yes, it's pretty good.
Wow, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Mhm.
That is a lot.
Yes, it's really great though. Like it's a lot of good stuff. So
Okay.
boom.
All right, so we'll cut it off. We'll say that's done. That's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
We're good. Okay. So everyone has at least a taste of the Stanley Hotel.
Yes,
And what it's about. Wild is what it's about.
correct.
So,
Can
okay.
confirm.
Cool.
All right, so
The fuck? No,
Yeah.
I'm still.
yeah, you're having a time, aren't you?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll tell you some of the other ones here in a little while, but they're pretty.
I want to
good.
see pictures.
It's a beautiful hotel. Which
Okay.
also we're gonna tweet a picture of the hotel as well when this
gets
comes out.
dropped. I am actually definitely interested. I think this is probably one of the few places that I'm actually like, yes.
Yeah, because it's nothing malevolent. It's just like little stuff.
That and like I feel like if we did spend the time and the money, we could actually get something.
Yeah, and I mean it's a fairly expensive hotel. It's like $230 a night. Like it's a nice ass hotel, and it's fairly expensive because it's so nice. But
That is a little.
Mm-hmm. It's a little rich.
It's a little.
A little rich from blood. Yeah. But, you know.
Yikes, 200 is my cap.
Mm-hmm. It's really pretty, but oof.
So just like a weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. 3-day, 2-night kind of thing?
Yeah, someday.
All right, cool.
Someday.
Good talk. All right. Someday. All right. That's a song.
Probably.
Something. All right. So, episode 9?
Yeah.
Oh, we're almost at 10.
Shit. We're almost in double digits. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
That's crazy. Okay. So, if you like what we're doing, you want to check us out, our website's up. It's going. It's a hot thing.
Hippity hoppity.
It's www.haunther.ibarelyknowher.com or .net or .org.
Whatever you choose to type into your
I bought all those domains. You can check us out on our Instagram. We're trying to be Instagram and Twitter.
Yes.
We're more active. We're doing our thing.
That's true.
We're on there. You can slide into our DMs. You can add us. You can talk to us.
Yeah, you can actually find our personal Twitters or Instagrams if you're interested in that as well.
You can find them like in the details of our...
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Somewhere.
So.
We're tagged somewhere.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's HHIBKH podcast on both of those.
Both of the handles.
Yes.
On both Instagram and Twitter. We've pretty much established that I'm handling Instagram, you're handling Twitter.
Yes.
And we are in competition to see who can get the most followers on on their respective platform.
Yes. Which
so don't get on Twitter.
No, fuck off. Twitter. Get all on Twitter. Thank you.
Come follow me on Instagram.
No.
So if you're on Instagram, you'll be interacting with me. If you're on Twitter, you'll be interacting with Zoe.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Here we are. That's actually a really fun way to do this.
Yes.
Also, there's some stuff coming with Patreon. We're kind of going to be working on that a little bit.
Yes.
So look, just be patient with us, but look forward to it. There's going to be some stuff that we're going to be releasing.
We are coming up with rewards. As we're going through this and learning, we're coming up with ideas for you guys.
Yes.
To interact with us. Please interact with us. We like it.
Very much so.
Yeah. We find it cool. We find it fun. We do this. We're on our social medias interacting.
Yes.
And we actually really like it.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's great. So
that's cool. Okay. So you can also support us on Patreon, speaking of which.
Yes.
Patreon.com/haunther. I barely know her.
Yes.
Check us out there. Yes. So thanks for tuning in. Super cool. Another episode down. And until next time.
Yeah. We'll see you next week. So
hello, dog. Okay, bye, dog. Haunt her.
I barely know her.